Alright guys, so I'm out here at my pond right now, and I'm going to be showing you guys how to cast a fishing pole. But before we get into that, there's 3 different kinds of fishing poles you may be casting. The first is a push button. You can see it's got the little push button on the back. Mine's custom wrapped in Barbie because it makes me feel comfortable. Next, you have a spinning reel. You can tell this is a spinning reel because it's like, well, look at it. That's kind of what a spinning reel looks like. It's got this bail on it, and the line is exposed right there going this way. And the last kind of fishing reel is a bait caster. This one kind of looks like a push button, but the line is exposed up here on top. And despite having a push button, it is not the same at all as a push button. But in this video, I'm going to show you how to cast all 3 of them. We'll start off with the push button. Now these come in a lot of different shapes and sizes, and they're really good if you're just getting started fishing. And that's because they're really simple. This one just happens to be Barbie, but they all work the same. So the way this works is this is your button, this is what lets your line go. If you push down, it unlocks it, but whenever you let off, your line actually falls out. And then obviously you reel this to reel it on up. Now here's how you cast. You push the button in now, you rear back, holding in the button, and then as you extend, you let go. Kind of like you're throwing something. And just like you'd throw a baseball or a rock, whenever you're throwing it to let go, that's whenever you let go of your button. And then once it hits the water, you want to reel this a little bit, because you hear that click, that it engages the line. Otherwise, the line's going to keep coming out until you hit that click. The biggest problems you can have with this is people forget to press the button, so nothing happens, or they forget to let go of the button and nothing happens, or they rear back and let go of the button, and then it goes the opposite way. You want to wait, you want to push down the button, rear back, and then let go as you sling it. Point the rod where you want it to go, and that's where it should go. Next up, we're talking about the spinning reel. This is a little bit more complicated, but it ain't bad, and I'll show you how. So with this one, there's a lot more components to know about. You obviously have the handle. This is called the spool, where the line is held. And another really important part is the drag. It's this knob on the front. You can loosen it to loosen the drag, meaning it kind of gives out quicker, or you can tighten it to make it tighter, meaning you have to pull a lot harder for it to give out line. And you want it to give out line so that if a big fish catches it, pulls, it'll let out line instead of breaking. I like to have mine set right in a pretty good amount. You want it stiff enough to where you can set the hook, but you don't want it so stiff that you're going to break off on a bunch of stuff. But this is called your bail. This is the biggest difference and the biggest thing you got to learn. It's the part that spins around, and it's also like this metal piece that comes around. The way I like to do it is I always turn the bail to where the fishing line is closest to the rod. So I'll twist it around just like that. Boom. Then I'll come in here, I'll use this finger, grab the line just like it's a trigger, and boom, now you're holding on to the line. At this point, you'll flip the bail. Boom. That's the same thing as pressing the button on that one. But as long as you have your finger wrapped around the line, you're holding on to the line. And from there, it's the same thing with the push button, except instead of holding on to the button and letting go when you cast, you're just going to hold it in your trigger finger and straighten out your finger as you cast. It's the same exact thing. Once again, up close, I like to turn it to where the line is facing up here. I'll trigger finger it like that, flip that bail, rear back, let go when you cast. And then you want to come in and you want to flip that bail, because the same way clicking it on the other reel, until you flip that bail, your line's just going. Alright, biggest problems I see people do this. They forget to open the bail, which is a problem. Just like the push button, they let go too early and they cast behind them and hit a grandma or something. And then another one, they release too early or too late. Too late, it's going too short. Too early, it's going too high. Probably in a tree. Probably a sycamore because they're big. But yeah, you just rear back, shone. You'll get used to it. Practice is everything. And now on to the final and most difficult reel to cast. And that is going to be a bait caster. If you are a beginner, do not get a bait caster. They are difficult to learn. But once you do fish a lot and you get used to casting and all that, you can do a lot of things with a bait caster that you really can't with the other reels. And there is a lot more controls on these that are very important. First, you have the handle. That's pretty explanatory. Then you have this drag over here on the side. Just like the drag on the spinning reel, this controls how much the line comes out. You tighten it up to make it tighter. You loosen it up to make it looser. But then we run into this little thing right here. This little knob on the side, that's actually your tension knob. That decides how fast and how much weight this spool can go when you press the button. Because unlike the other ones, watch this. If you press the button and it goes, watch what happens. Well, this one's set good. we get what we call a backlash, which is where it spins too much and it actually starts fluffing up your line, causing huge problems. But that's what this tension knob is set for. One good thing to do is you tighten it all the way up, all right? Especially if you're just getting started. You tighten it all the way up to where it's pretty tight. You ain't gotta like crank it down because you're gonna be loosening it right here in a minute. But you crank it tight enough to where whenever the bait you have put on there, you press the button, nothing happens. Then you're just gonna slowly back that thing off until your bait slowly starts to drop. What happens is whenever it hits the water or the ground, your thing just stops. That way you can rear back and cast it. You can still cast, but you're not going to get a backlash. If you guys are trying to cast a bait caster and it goes crazy every single time, that's the knob that you need to check out. And as you get better and better, you can start loosening it up even more. Now, here's what you got to do. Whenever you push this down, you want to put your finger on the spool, because if not, it's going to run out. So press the button, hold the spool. You're going to rear back. All right, be careful. Here you go. Whenever you sling it, it's called feathering. Your thumb needs to be on it. That way, whenever it hits the water, you need to push down. Because if not, it could keep on going, and that's when your backlash happens. This one's going to take some practice, and you're 100% going to mess up a lot. But that is how you learn. But if you do the right thing from the beginning, you're going to mess up a whole lot less. Once again, you press that down, hold your finger on it, rear back, and you're going to put your thumb just barely touching it, and whenever it touches the water, it gets close, go ahead and just push your thumb down. That way, your spool stops. From there, click your handle, it's engaged, you start fishing. Practice is everything. Now, with all the different kinds of fishing poles, there are little tips and tricks. So I've actually made a dedicated video over all 3 of them. If you have a specific fishing pole you want to learn more about, click on those and I'm going to go in depth and teach you everything I know about it. Or if you need a fishing pole or looking for a new one, click right over here. I'm going into Walmart, picking out the 5 fishing poles I would buy, along with the 5 fishing poles I would never buy.